Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous. Tonya Hofmann's fabulous, fabulous TV show. Tonya.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited that you're back. Oh my gosh, we're going to have such a fabulous show today. We have Scott in the house, Scott Venezia. Hey, Scott.
Hey.
He's coming on in just a minute, and I'm super excited about having you kind of grasp the information he's about to give you. And it is so much fun when you get to hang around people like Scott and, you know, all the fabulous people that are on my show all the time. And that's something that I want you to think about doing, because I hear people all the time and they're like, nothing's happening for me. And it's because they're choosing not to, right? They're choosing to sit back and wait for something to happen. And if you're kind of in that employee mindset where you're like, oh my gosh, I have to wait for someone to tell me what to do, you're never going to move. So I want you to start thinking about making things happen for yourself. And in order to do that, you need to talk to people. You need to pick up the phone and have conversations. And don't assume that people are just going to, out of the generous of their heart, think about you for something. You have to give that, and you got to plant it in their mind. You know, people always, they're like, Tonya, I really wanted to speak at your conference. I don't know why you didn't have me come and speak. I'm like, I had no idea you wanted to speak at the conference. So how are people going to, we're not psychic, most of us. So, you know, you got to help us and really reach out and talk to people and tell them what you want. You can't make things happen if you don't verbalize it. Put it in an email. Do something so that you can start the opportunities are there. If you want to be a speaker and you never told anybody you wanted to be a speaker, how will they know you want to be a speaker? I hear it from people all the time. I'm like, I don't see anything on social media. I don't see anything on your website. I don't see anything about you being a speaker. So you've got to let people know. It's as simple as that. And that's why I wanted Scott to come on today, because he's so fabulous anyways. And he is incredible on, you know, kind of the law of attractions and choices that we make and kind of movement in our lives. So how are you doing, Scott?
I'm doing fantastic. Good morning, Miss Tonya.
Yay!
Yay.
So tell us, Scott, a little bit about you and who you are so we can kind of grasp your fabulousness.
I love that. I should tune in every morning so you could tell people about how fabulous I am. Thank you. It's really interesting. A lot of people, when they look at people that are moving forward and being successful and doing things in life, they automatically think that, oh, they were born with a silver spoon in their mouth, or they were born to be fabulous in front of people. They were born with the energy and it's all a learned process. And I came from a background that definitely did not support the lifestyle that I'm creating now. And, you know, I grew up in a single parent household. My mother and I were alone by ourselves from the time I was, 6 years old, and came home one day to an apartment that was completely empty. My dad had moved everything out, and that's all we had. So, you know, I grew up in Section 8 housing in the projects, and my mom was only educated to the 10th grade level. And so we were always, looking for something better in life. And I actually moved 22 times before I was 15 years old when we settled here in Las Vegas. You know, I never had lessons that people hear about, those ahas in life and growing up that I was taught, because it was all about just survival. But in and of itself, it taught me a lot of valuable lessons. And when I got my biggest aha was, I forget how many years ago now. I was out cleaning the house, doing the chores, the honeydews around the house, and I was in the middle of cleaning the kitchen, and I felt my heart palpitate, and then it was faster and faster, and it was like, and then it was skipping beats, and it scared the crap out of me. Now, I've got a medical background. I was in the medical field for almost 30 years, and I knew something wasn't right. And long story short, I ended up, it was just palpitations were basically benign. That means they're not really a real big problem, but they can be scary. And it was a wake-up call for me. I was almost 400 pounds at the time. And it was like, what am I doing? And I realized that was my aha moment, that my life is a manifestation of the choices that I've made up until that point. Everything that I've done and thought and acted on has created where I was at that point. And it was pretty profound, because that's a scary proposition. And being I think it was just a little over 40 years old at the time. And so it made me realize that, wow, life is just about choices. And I started studying more and reading more and understanding that all of the things that they teach us, everything that we learn in the law of attraction and manifestation, in anything, in success, all boils down to the choices we make. Every single one of them. You can throw out any what's the word I'm looking for? You can throw out any topic about the law of attraction, about success, and it all boils back down to choice. That is the root of everything, is the choices that we make. And so that's what I'm about, is I'm about sharing, about choices. I mean, obviously, Tonya, where you're at, you've made some good choices in your life.
And bad choices, it all gets us to where we are today. I was thinking about that. We were driving back through the hill country of Texas. We went camping for the 4th of July not too long ago. And I had this kind of realization that we had thought about moving to the country when I moved to Austin in '99. If I had done that, I would not be here today, because there was specific things that had happened in, sequential order, right? That led me to where I am, that led me to go to a networking group, that went to this, that went to that, it all kind of builds on each other. And so you think how different, if you just have one change in life, in one of your choices, how different things could be, both positive and negative.
Yeah. Exactly. And I think that's perfect. Thank you for bringing that up, because I always focus on one aspect of it, is both positive and negative choices that you have in life. And we're in control, but we're not in control of manifesting our destiny and where we go. And it all roots back to the choices, good and bad, from the time you wake up in the morning till the time you go to bed at night and close your eyes. Your choices start and they end. From when you get up in the morning, should I go pee first or should I go start the coffee first? That's your first choice. I mean, and then maybe you had an argument with your spouse the night before, and it's like, well, should I still continue to be mad, or should I try and make up? And on your way to the office or to work, somebody cut you off. You have that choice of, how should I react to that? And it goes on and so many different levels. So, and then your good choices of, they all create your destiny, where you're going with your business, with your life, your personal life. It's all about supporting you yourself, and through the personal, the professional, the health, and the spiritual. Those are the 4 basic legs that hold the table of self and support you. So
I love it. I know from, myself, there's so much negativity in my life, and I had to make that choice. Do I want to continue this road of victim mentality of, oh my gosh, every day is going to be another horrible day? Or do I change it and go, I don't know what's going to happen today. It's going to be an amazing day. I'm going to meet somebody new. I'm going to do something new,
Yeah, exactly. And again, that's a choice. It's how are you going to think about that? It's right. It's how you think your day is going to be, because you're going to attract to you the energy that you put out. If you focus on the negative, that's what you're going to attract to yourself, is the negative. And we have an amazing group that we're starting here in Las Vegas with the Public Speakers Association, and just attracting some incredible people. And we were talking the other day about attraction and about manifesting and focusing on your goals and what you want to achieve. And it was so profound. The audience, sometimes I don't realize the messages I have, how powerful they are. And it was really cool for me, and a learning lesson for myself, that, well, I have a great message to share with people, and it's solidified every week in working with our group. And we were talking about the manifestation and the focus, and how why we focus, what we focus on, we attract, and how we miss opportunities. I'm sure you've probably missed some opportunities. I have, because our focus is somewhere else. And there's a scientific reason why we miss things. And it's called the reticular activation system, and it's in the amygdala in the brain. And it prevents us from being overwhelmed with input, because we've got the air conditioner sound in the background, we've got the breeze blowing us, we've got people chattering in the background, we've got advertisements on TV and on the radio, and people talking to us, and we're constantly bombarded with information. I mean, you understand that because you're busy, so you know about being bombarded with information, I'm sure. And
Oh, yeah.
exactly. In the RAS, it helps filter out what's not important to you. It knows what you're focusing on and then filters out the non-important stuff. So if you don't focus on where you want to go, you're good. It's actually going to filter out the things and the opportunities that cross your path to move yourself forward.
Yeah, I
And
think one of the greatest ones is, when we were like, oh, I don't want to, right? And you feel I don't want to be fat anymore. Well, you're focused on being fat.
exactly.
Versus I want to be skinny. You focus on what you want versus what you don't want, right?
And that's natural, though. It is natural. Most of us were bred, and that's how that we're taught. Most of us is I don't want this. Well, that's where your focus is. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up. Absolutely, that's a good point. I mean, what is your key? What do you use when you want to go somewhere with a goal? What process do you use? Because everybody has a different process that they use. They use visualization, or they use reading their goals, or what. Do you have one specific that you use, or?
I write down what I want to do and then I go do it.
You make it sound so simple.
It is never simple. But yeah, I think, everyone's got different processes, and a lot of it, it's like we're looking at buying, several hundred acres of land out in the middle of Texas because it's so beautiful. And, so the visualization is there, right? And you got to encourage yourself that you're going to find the right one. You're going to find exactly what you're looking for at the price you're looking for. And, but yeah, there's that visualization that goes along with actual action, because I see a lot of people that they'll visualize all day long, but how are they ever going to find that land if they don't go look for it? Or find someone who can help them look for it,
Yeah, action. That's a big one that people miss. Is you can sit in your couch all day long and read your goals, but unless you take action to move forward and do something, that's the great point. I think that's where a lot of people miss that, is that they get wrapped up in the goals and the visualization and oh, I'm going to manifest this, and you have to take action. That's an important part of the formula. Because you're not going to attain anything unless you go out and network yourself, unless you learn about where you want to go and study that and make connections and do the work that needs to be done. So, yeah, that's an important part of that.
I have a friend that would always like, oh, I want this certain guy, and she would describe him to a T, right? I'm like, well, how are you trying to find him? Well, he's just going to show up. I'm like, how is he going to show up? You have to go meet people, and then you'll find you,
That's funny.
I don't know, for me, there was like this aha moment, there's been lots of them, but I was looking at a magazine or something, and there was this gorgeous woman. She had like this beautiful figure. I mean, she was just beautiful. And I felt a little jealousy, and I'm like, well, I'd never get jealous, and things like that just don't usually bother me. But I was like, wow, she's like got the body that I would love to have, and this and that, right? And I was like, well, I'm just sitting here on the couch. Well, how am I gonna get the body if I'm gonna just sit here on the couch? She works her butt off for that body.
That's it. You have to put the work in. That's true. And what I found, and I realized this recently, is that my greatest asset is putting work in and about learning about things to take the action, because that's the first part. If you're going to take action and build a website for yourself, well, you've got to learn about that. You've got to put in the time to study, to learn about all the intricacies. That's a big word. Can you say that? Intricacies about building that website. And that's what I'm good at. And I realize that is when I focus on something that I want and I don't know how to do it. So I send out the emails to the PSA group occasionally, try to do it out weekly. And the message last night, which I've gotten great feedback from, was about, and what do you have to do to be a successful speaker or to be a speaker, period. And it's about asking your way to success. And what I meant by that is that the average person will go, okay, well, I'm too shy to be a speaker. And it stops right there. They make a statement. They tell themselves a lie. See, wannabes tell lies. Successful people ask questions. And that's what the whole theme of the email was about. And so a successful person or a successful or going to be successful speaker would ask, okay, well, I am shy. What do I do to overcome that? And I actually use you as an example in the email that, that you said that you were painfully shy, but you overcame that. You became a successful speaker and shared your message in front of the room and created an organization that teaches people how to do that. And that was the theme of the whole email, telling lies and then asking questions. And it's like, I'm too overweight to be in front of a room. Well, baloney, that's a lie. Well, okay, I'm overweight, but are there people that are successful, and how could I be successful even though I am overweight? Because I've lost over 100 pounds, but I'm still overweight. Who cares? It doesn't matter. It's about the message that you're sharing. So it's about the questions that you ask. It's not telling yourselves lies. It's asking yourself appropriate questions to move yourself forward. So obviously you've asked yourself some good questions. I'm asking myself some good questions, and that's that's what it's about. It's not buying into that little chatter that we have.
Exactly. And realizing that nobody really cares. You're the only one that really cares. If you're overweight, if your teeth are bad, if your hair is fluffy, whatever your issue is, that you have problems with. Nobody cares how big your nose is. Nobody cares if you got something green in your teeth. They don't even care if you mess up on stage. They just want to know, what can you give me? What are you going to inspire me to do? What kind of information can I change my life today, my business practices, whatever. That's what they're there for. And once you get that through your noggin, that's when things will change, because we focus on the things that really don't matter at all.
Right.
And yes, will it, be better if you lost weight to speak? Well, yeah, because you'll probably feel better about yourself.
You have more energy.
Yeah, it's only not going to change anything with the crowd and the amount of money you make or the amount of lives that you change. It's about your own personal focuses and goals for yourself.
Right. Exactly. It's crap. Basically, is that you focus on crap. That's what I call it. I'm sorry. There's just another word for it. And we listen to that, and we're programmed from the time we're little kids to listen to all that mind chatter that goes on and believe it. And you're right. People don't care when you're up on stage, Tonya. It's about how you come across in your delivery and your message and what value that you're offering people to help them change their life and their business and where they're going. So yeah, it's unfortunate that I was very proud of one of our attendees at our PSA group, because she is painfully shy, and we actually got her to come up week before last and to share, and it was about drawing people in. The theme of the meeting was about drawing people in with a story in your message and being authentic and connecting with people. And she shared some incredible stuff, and obviously she's still painfully shy. So the eye contact and things, all the little stuff, but we were all mesmerized by listening to her just sharing, and we're like, this is and it was great feedback for her, because she sort of got this aha, like, wow, even just my story's powerful.
Yes.
So yeah, exactly.
I see people all the time, and and that's why I wanted to create the Public Speakers Association in the first place. Is I wanted to give a safe environment for people that were just starting out and needed a lot of help, to people that are making seven figures, so that myself and my friends and people can take those and help them, instead of just looking down at them and go, you're new, you don't know what you're doing, you said I don't like any of that. It's about helping each other. It's kind of like I always think of it as like a Montessori school, where everyone's there and we're all kind of help each other, because there's something each one of us can learn from each other. Always.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. And I think that the time that, see, this is my philosophy, and I believe I got this from Jim Rohn. But it's like a piece of fruit. When you're on the tree or the vine and you're still growing, that's great. But once you fall off and you stop growing, you start to rot and die. And it's all, you're right. I don't care if it's you or if it's Patty or whoever that is successful and making a lot of money. It doesn't matter. You can still learn something. And when you get past that point and think you know it all, that's when you start to die. That's life. It's a path. There's always something to grow and to learn and to get better.
Well,
So yeah.
and I know all the big speakers, and a lot of them are my friends, and some of them that have been speaking for a long time who have huge names are really struggling because they think that they knew it all, that they didn't need to change. And life keeps changing. Things keep
Right.
moving. Everything keeps adjusting. And now they're struggling because they haven't been keeping up with the way the world has changed and the way the speaking world has changed, So yeah, I totally
Right.
get it. You've got to keep up with yourself and others and always learn. It's always about learning.
Yeah, that's important. It's learning in all different aspects, learning about your career, your job, learning about different technologies, learning about everything changes course. People have a problem with change, and that is so important to understand and embrace that you can't grow and move on unless you change. That's so important to your success. And when I say success too, I don't want people to be confused. It's not a monetary thing. It's not just money. Success is about when you wake up in the morning, you're okay when you open your eyes. Life is good. You put your feet on the floor. You're excited to be awake. You're excited about your family. You're excited about the green and the wind and the sun. And it is everything is that's success when you can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's not just monetary. And obviously money does make it easier. They're not going to fool anybody. It does. But
It's
it's
always good.
yeah, it's always good. Yeah, so money is okay, but it's just about being happy where you're at right now and being okay with that and being grateful.
Well, it's
So
about deciding, right? You were talking about choices. You can decide every day how your life runs. It really is up to you, and a lot of people are like, oh, well, is my husband's this or my wife's that and my kids are awful. And I'm like, because that's your environment. So why don't you change it? And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like, change it. Start being
right.
happy. Start going, oh my gosh, you're the best husband or the best wife I've ever, I can't even imagine anyone better. Oh, you're the best kids, and a lot of times that's all it takes.
Yep.
Even for clients, you're the best client. Scott, you're the best director, I mean, it's giving people that empowerment that they are good and that they are loved and that they do mean something to somebody. And that's usually where things start to break down, I think.
Yeah, there was a study done once, and I wish I could be more articulate with it. But the basis of it was kids live up to the potential that you believe in them, that they can live up to. And they actually took a classroom full of underperforming students via test scores, whatever value you want to hold on the test scores, but underperforming students, and told the teacher that they were straight A students, real go-getters, and we're going somewhere in school. Now, these were grade schoolers, and what they found was that the kids, because the teacher had different views and expectations of them, their grades were elevated. Now, that's really a simplistic way of describing the story, but it's all the same message. It's all about what you throw out there to people, and this is what I perceive of you, and this is what I believe about you. They're going to live up to that. And you're going to create the different relationships where you are the best husband, you are the best wife, and they're going to exactly. That's beautiful. Thank you, Tonya, for sharing that.
Yeah, everyone has rough times in their lives. No one's immune to it. And one time, my son was kind of acting out, at school, and he just seemed very anxious and unhappy. And I'm like, how can I change something? Because my husband had a stroke, so I could tell he was very scared at that point of his life.
Oh, sure.
And so I just ramped up and I said, okay, mommy, I'm going to put my mommy hat on and I'm going to make sure I say goodnight to him every night and that we love him and we'll see him in the morning. And just by doing a little bit, give him some hugs during the day, even though, 11-year-olds are like, but they still want it. You just start showing people that you love them and that you're encouraged, and you just stop and talk. And I encourage everybody to do this with your family, your friends, your employees, your employers, your clients, whoever. When they call or they come over to you and want to say something to you, you stop. Whatever you're doing, your computer, your phone, your TV, whatever it is, and you turn to them and you put eye to eye. You won't believe how that will change your relationship with people because you gave them attention. That's what a lot of people want.
Wow, that's awesome, Tonya. You're right. I try to do that, and I probably, just to be transparent and honest, I probably don't do it enough.
Me
but
too.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
get our computers are like, oh, just a minute, just a minute, and that person feels, put aside that this is more important than they are.
Right, and that stuff will still be there. That moment won't be. So yeah, exactly.
It won't go away.
Never goes
Even
away.
if it's that show you've been watching, oh please, watch it again on Netflix later or something.
You have a stop button. Everybody has a pause button. I know it. Come on, they all got DVR. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a beautiful word of wisdom for me today. Thank you. I like that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yay! Now, Scott, I know you're giving away something amazing today.
Of course.
So what is that?
So I would like everybody at this moment to stop and understand that right now, where you are in life, you've created, whether that's good or bad, and you can create something different if you choose. It's about manifesting your desired outcome. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to get my online book. It's called Manifest Miracles, The Hidden Keys to Unlocking the Law of Attraction. And you can do that by going to my website, which is scottvenezia.com. That's Scott Venezia, V like Victor, E-N-E-Z like zebra, IA.com. And go ahead and fill in the information in the form, and we'll send you over a copy of the ebook or the book to read. And I'm sure that you will get some amazing information that is so easy to implement if you focus on it and remind yourself that you can really create and manifest anything in your life that you desire.
Oh, I know you're going to love it. So make sure you jump on that, and you definitely want to read it and absorb it and just love it. So jump over on scottvenezia.com and get to know Scott anyways. You know you're going to want to because he's so fabulous. So you might as well. And also make sure you go and check out the website for the Public Speakers Association. It's simply Public Speakers with an S. Association, all spelled out.com, and you'll find out all kinds of information about how you can go out and change lives from the front of the room. Stop hiding, stop keeping yourself from being fabulous and being in front of people and really going out and making a difference in your life and in theirs. How dare you hide yourself? How dare you hide your message? How dare you keep your fabulousness to yourself? So do something about it today. Alrighty, everybody. So I will have Scott come back again because he was so much fun. And we will have a blast next time. So see you on our next show. Bye.
Bye.